first of all, thank you so much for clicking on the video. Please subscribe, like this video, and share it. For those subscribers that have their subscriptions public, I will absolutely subscribe in return. As a community, we need to support each other. We all have valued information to go out there, so let's just make that happen by supporting each other's channels. Bugs are out. Anyway, what is OffGrid? What's the reality? What's the truth behind it? OffGrid means simply this: you don't rely on public electricity. That's the initial OffGrid version that has been modified to an extent to now include all public utilities. So if you're living an off-grid lifestyle, you do not take advantage of the sewer and water system, electricity, natural gas, and any other public service that is required for you to live comfortably. I see a lot on the internet, YouTube, blogs, and I do a lot of reading and research on these things because I'm heading down that road. And unless you're an off-grid person, your opinions to the contrary are kind of lost in the wind. So I expect a lot of flack from my definition of off-grid, but it's going to be from people who are sitting behind a computer that's being fed electricity from the grid. And they have this very clear picture of what that definition really is. So go for it, have at it. I want to live an off-grid lifestyle. Right now, I have property, and I have a 34-foot travel trailer. It's wonderful for the summer months, spring, summer, and fall. It is useless in the winter, including my 400-watt solar panel system. Summertime, I can't even use it up. I have wonderful location for summer sun. So, choosing to go off-grid first is probably the most difficult part of this journey, because those are necessities. I don't need electricity per se. I want it. I want to live comfortably, but off the grid. I don't need a heat source, but I do. So there's some things that I have to get in place now. So prior to building, in the last 2 years, I've been building up my off-grid part. There's no point in building a home I can't live in, because I don't have the means to live comfortably. I tried that in a travel trailer. That resulted in the first year that I had that travel trailer, that resulted in me at 1 o'clock in the morning with -10 temperatures outside and the furnace dying. I had to pack up my dogs, immediate necessities, and bail to my winter place. That was, no, don't want that to happen again. I do have a mini cubic stove, so my choices that day were to stay up every hour to feed it wood to stay warm enough to not be freezing, or take an hour of my sleep time, pack up and bail. I bailed. The mini cubic stove is wonderful, but it's not good for overnight long-term heating solution. It works for what I need it for right now, but it's not going to work for living out there in the winter. The 34-foot travel trailer is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Single pane windows and a ½ an inch of insulation doesn't work in the winter. Hindsight is 20/20. I never gave it too much thought when I bought that trailer, but I will utilize it. So when I build my winter living space off-grid, that travel trailer becomes my workshop. So it's not a loss. So when we say off-grid, that's it. No public utilities. There is no glorification, expansion, or migrating into something else. Now, if you put off-grid with homesteading, now we're talking. Now you're talking not relying on supermarkets for your food and meats, growing your own everything, being self-sustaining. Anything you need to live comfortably and survive, you provide for yourself. That's the big difference between homesteading and off-grid. Put the two together, which oftentimes homesteaders are off-grid for the most part, some are not, and the ones that are not are doing everything else to be self-sustained. So there's a give and take. They'll pay the utilities, you know, the electric or whatever utilities they want to pay for, but they save oodles on the foods, storage of their own foods, selling of their crops. So there's a trade-off. I want to be completely off-grid in my homestead, but it's just a step-by-step process. I may never be. Doesn't matter. That's the goal, though. I hunt, I fish, my gardens will go in after I build. All that will come, but I have to be off-grid and in a place that I can live. So there's, you know, the truth about the off-grid lifestyle is it's just no public utilities. You need to think about that. That's huge. How many of you can say, hey, I don't need electricity, or I'll use something else? We're so spoiled by everything that we use electricity for. That's the number one utility that's the hardest to give up. There's a lot of people in city and urban areas that are off-grid. They have a septic system, they have a solar panel, wind turbine, whatever they have, water for their electricity. The water source, not so much. In the city, there's no external water sources to speak of. Urban areas, not so much. Rural, yes. Choosing an area where you can have a viable water source, whether you be a well or filtered creek water or rainwater, etc. I'm using rainwater right now, not for drinking, but all my other needs, rainwater is it. Rainwater is the best shower ever. Skin soft, hairs, it's just amazing. Now I have to just build in a filtration system so that it can become my drinking water. So the truth about off-grid, you heard it. No public utilities. That's it. There's no gray areas. It is what it is. So I look forward to your comments. If you are an off-grid homesteader or an off-gridder and you have a difference of opinion, let's discuss it. If you're sitting behind your computer in your cushy home with all public utilities fed in, I don't have much to say to you because you don't live it. You're not in it. You just have an opinion. I want to learn from others. Even that person sitting behind the computer can learn from all of us that are doing it. So on that happy note, don't forget to subscribe, click the notification bell, and we're going to keep this going.